and you end up with about 11 million pounds of liquid propellant on board those two stages. After we're fully loaded on the vehicle, the pad itself gets ready for launch. We do what's called pushbacks. We clear all that prop out of the lines in the tower and the feed system back into the tanks to get ready for launch. And then in the next couple of minutes, we're going to do our final GNC guidance, navigation, and control system alignment. We're going to arm the automatic flight safety system, and then we're going to do final kind of wiggle checks on the steering for the engines, which we might be able to catch a quick peek at as we get closer to those. If we need to hold, which we are not currently tracking a reason to, that would happen at T-minus 40 seconds. It's built into our countdown. We can pause and wait there for any final checkouts, anything that we need to hold for.
Once we pass that T-minus 40 seconds, a number of events will occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems come up to flight pressure, and ship switches to internal power. After that, the ship disconnect arm lockout
I'm here.
in preparation for retraction
Eventually.
after T0. Now, once we pass T-minus 40 seconds, if any problems come up, we do still have the ability to recycle the count under certain conditions
Alright,
back
we
to
good.
T-minus 40 seconds
We're
and
good.
hold there to assess what happened, and then see if we can
Might
proceed
have almost
again to
slept
lift
through
off.
it, but we're good.
Yep. However, once the water for the
Woke up
deflector
at, like,
system
T-minus
begins
9
flowing at
minutes.
T-minus 10 seconds, any issue after that would be an automatic scrub for the day.
We're good though.
As
I
teams
missed
would need
all
to
the
refill the
info.
deflector's water tanks as well as the propellant storage tanks at the tank farm before making another attempt.
All right,
look at
we
that.
are coming
Sick.
up on 3
That's so
minutes away from launch. You can see the frost line all the way up. We've just closed out prop load onto the ship. Booster coming up shortly.
Sick. I wanted to start
Yeah, in
the
about 10
live stream
seconds
from
we'll
the start
finish
'cause I wanted to
loading
hear what
prop
they
on
said
the
about
booster, and then
the
again
end
we'll
of
have about
V2
11
in
million
the
pounds of that
pad
liquid
A, but-
oxygen, liquid
well.
methane on board the vehicles. Not currently tracking a reason to hold at T-minus 40. It can pop up
Hello.
at the last moment or after we pass that gate. We can always hang out
2.5
there for
minutes.
a couple of minutes if we need to. We do have some extra time. We're not constantly topping off the propellant in these vehicles, so we have about a 7-8 minute window where we can wait for any final issues to clear. We're not currently tracking a reason to hold there. Again, our range continues to be green as we look at sea and airspace both out over the Gulf and in our reentry zone out in the Indian
Alright.
Ocean.
What's the chances of this flight also going
All right,
successful,
2 minutes,
like
15
flight 10?
seconds to go.
Or
a lot of things on tap
Will
for
something
Flight
happen
11.
at
Plan
the
to be
end
the
of
last
V2?
launch of this version of Starship
There
and
you go.
Super Heavy.
And
Once
this
again,
pad.
we're really focused on
Over to this pad next.
getting ship over to reentry. Once we get to that phase, we're going to dive in. There's a lot of exciting stuff that's going to be happening on our way back through and down to the ground, hopefully out in the Indian Ocean.
Just
Minute
wait, just wait, and then-
45.
Oh.
Should hopefully be seeing.
The wiggles, there it is.
There's a quick wiggle check.
Look at that.
Checking out
Been
the
a while
thrust
since
vector
we've seen
control,
that.
the steering on the booster. We use those inner 13 engines. Doing their one final dance before the big show.
And you can still see
And we'll
that
do
on
that
warp
one more
from the
time
last flight.
after we cross
See,
that T-minus
still
40
see most
gate.
of them warp from the last flight. Because they're reusing
All
was
right,
like
range continues
23?
to be green.
out of 33
Still
engines.
not tracking
like 22
any
or
issues
something.
on vehicle or pad.
It's in the low 20s that they're using from the last flight.
1 minute to go.
Not from flight
As a reminder, we
9,
can
10, whatever
we
that
can
flight
hold
this
at
booster
T-minus
was last
40.
flown
We're
on.
not planning
It's
to.
crazy. This is the second flight of a second booster. Yeah. Straight through
All
20, 20, 40.
We're through T-minus
Too
40.
tired.
Let's listen in. Flight Director
Ah,
Ty
hello.
Huntington back in the seat. Take us through the final
Flight
seconds
directors, go
until
for launch.
Go for it. Go for launch. Let's go. I saw people posting. They're like, "Oh, I'll do it without the deluge. You don't need the pad anyway."
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
There's deluge.
2, 1.
Bit of a delay, but
We have liftoff.
There we go.
Go Super Heavy. Go Starship. Thanks for all the historic flights, Pad 1.
So thanks for all the historic flights, Pad 1.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
You really hear it.
Booster Raptor chamber pressure nominal.
They seem a bit more like amped up this flight, like the controllers. I'm always surprised how like drones never get
Booster
knocked out of the
airship,
sky.
nominal power and telemetry.
You can hear it through their
All right,
microphones.
we are about
in
45
the
seconds
control
into
center.
flight. We're still getting the rattle here at Star Factory. We are seeing 33 out of 33 Raptor engines lit on
that.
Super Heavy as it arcs across the Gulf. Coming up next on Max Q.
Sick. I think I saw something from one of the engines. I think it was around a minute
Max
and a
Q.
half.
So at this point, we've passed through that period of maximum
About a minute and a half
aerodynamic
in,
pressure.
like
The
10,
next
an
thing
engine
we're
went.
looking forward to is going to be hot staging. So we've got 33 out of 33 Raptors lit. Super Heavy makes its way uphill. Hot staging is going to be coming up in just a little over a minute. At that point, we're going to see all but 3 of those Raptor engines on Super Heavy shut down. Our version of Miko. Most engines cut off instead of main engine. And then after that, we're going to release the clamps that are currently holding Starship to that hot stage adapter. It's then going to ignite its 6 Raptor engines to push it
camera
away
always gets
from
the best
Super
views.
Heavy and then start making its flight uphill. So in about 30 seconds, we're going to see the engines start to shut down on Super Heavy. You'll see them kind of shut off in separate banks until we've just got those 3 center engines that never stop running for this process, and then looking for 6 ship Raptors. All right,
It's crazy how quiet it
Miko
gets.
coming up in about 10 seconds. See the engines throttling down.
Booster engine cut off.
There you go.
Ship
There's
ignition.
engines. There it is. Let's go.
Stage separation.
Look at that.
2 spec burn startup.
We have 1 engine again on the booster.
All right, successful hot staging maneuver. So we've got 12 of the 13 engines lit back up on
It's
booster,
always
so
one
it's
engine.
doing
The
its
last
boost
couple
back.
flights, it's been 1 engine.
Real excitingly
Ship
though,
engine
we've
pressure's
got
not
6
bad.
out of
That
6
rooftop vent
Raptors
again.
lit on ship there, so it's now going to continue to make its ascent into outer
That
space.
vent was never a good thing. Whenever
Meanwhile,
it
this
turned
boost
on.
back is happening. We're using those 13 engines, so everything, well, 12 out of the 13, and then we go down to 3, and then we're going to shut down for
They're doing
the end of boost back. That's sending
a
Super
5
Heavy
engine burn
back towards
this
its
time.
planned
Power
splashdown
acceleration
zone in the Gulf.
Should be interesting.
Right
to
after
see.
we finish this boost back burn, we're
me pull
also
up
going to
the
separate the hot stage.
timings.
This will be the final time
2 spec
that
burn
we're doing
shutdown.
this. Is
Let's see.
all right. There's
Let's
the end
see
of the boost back
timings on
burn.
this.
We should be seeing the hot stage.
Mm-mm-mm. There it is. Oh,
So the hot stage separates. It's going to make its way down, also splash down in the Gulf. In the meantime, though, these 6 ship Raptors are going to continue firing for about 5 more
about
minutes.
6 minutes 20 seconds. So we have 2 minutes.
Next up for the booster, though, is going to be its landing burn.
Look at
There's a
that.
cool tracking shot. We dumped some of the prop out on our way back.
I always
in.
remember from, what was it, Flight 2 or Flight 3? When the
All
booster
right, so for
exploded.
booster, this is
right after
one of
that
the
vent.
main things we're trying to get is going to be this landing burn. Oh, that's so you can see the hot stage kind of making its way towards the left side. So that's the bottom of the booster. It's about to pass right in front of where you can see some of that prop dump happening. They look like they're close together, but there's a good amount of distance between them, and the hot stage will go down and splash down in the Gulf while the booster comes back for its landing
That's cool
burn.
to see that. So cool.
Starship is on nominal trajectory.
The booster glides as well.
All right. Looking good on our
When it's,
trajectory, looking good
descending.
on everything. Jake and Amanda, you guys with me down there?
Yeah, definitely. The crowd is gathering over here in the office. You can definitely feel the energy in here. Great to see that booster is making its way down to the splashdown zone in the Gulf.
Gridfin still moving.
Yeah, the
Remember, we
shaking
got one
down
of them
here
locked up
was
before.
absolutely nuts. The windows are still there, still intact. So
So,
that was pretty awesome. But yeah, boosters coming down. We're at about 30
Booster
kilometers.
FPS
About
saved.
Booster
all right,
FDF
yeah.
safe.
And as we approach that landing, just like tower catches, we will be doing a 13-engine landing burn to slow down. This time it will
switching
be
to
in
5.
a V3 configuration.
See how suddenly them engines get hot there.
And as we're starting to get into the denser part of the atmosphere, the booster
Yeah,
is using
V3
4
configuration
hypersonic
safe.
grid fins to guide itself through atmospheric entry towards its landing site.
And we're just
Ship
about
chamber
20
pressure's coming
seconds
in to be
away
nominal.
from landing burn start, where we'll first ignite the center 13 engines, then bring that down to 5 to slow down the booster for landing. And finally, that
Wonder
will
what
come
pattern
down to
they're gonna
3,
do the 5
and
in.
we'll cut all of them off while we're still about 200 meters in the air. So booster is going to see a bit of a hard...
That engine came
Booster
back.
landing burn startup.
That one engine that went out. Oh. That's weird. What? That was weird, the pattern.
Booster landing burn shut down.
And then
And there we heard it. Booster
It's gonna
landing
drop.
burn shut down. We saw a 13 to 5 to 3 V3,
And
V3
there you go.
demonstration. And into the water we
were
go.
they chanting USA?
Wow, that was absolutely awesome. If you can even hear us right now, congrats to the whole SpaceX team. So far,
That's the
so good
end
for
of-
today. That
Of
was
V1,
incredible.
V2 booster. I don't think they have V2.
All
It's
right,
just going
great
V3.
stuff, guys. I'm jealous of the crowd. All right, back to ship. Ship's still making its way. We've got a little under 2 minutes left in this ascent burn, so we've got all 6 Raptor engines still firing. So the next
So
major milestone
for-
we're going to be looking for is SECO. That's our second stage engine cutoff. That's
8:58.
should be coming right at about 8 minutes and 58 seconds
There you
into
go.
flight. So we've got about 1:20 still to go.
Now 18 minutes.
Really cool to
have
see
Halo
Booster
demo.
go through that landing burn. That was one of our really key demonstrations we wanted to try and do today. Is that's mimicking what we're going to be hopefully doing. Oh, we just got our sonic boom. Sounds like from the booster coming
I
back.
was wondering what that was.
All right, less than a minute to go. So we are going to see the 3 RVACs, the vacuum optimized
Where's
engines,
Dan
shut
for
down
this
first,
flight?
and then we'll
We
shut
missed
down
that.
those 3 center engines. So we should be a little under
Is
a
he in
minute
Starbase? Is he?
until SECO. Just a reminder,
Somewhere.
this is putting us into a suborbital trajectory, so we're intentionally just going slow enough.
Well, they have
that
another launch
we're not
straight
gonna
after
achieve
this.
full
They
orbit.
have,
This puts us
was it
on a
Kuiper
course where
2?
those engines shut off, and no matter
Launch?
what, we're coming back
Starship is in
landing
terminal
zone.
guidance.
in the Indian Ocean. All right, terminal guidance. So we should start seeing the
Like
shutdowns
2 hours
come up
after
in
this,
just a couple
they're gonna
seconds.
Still
Less
have
than
the
30
adrenaline
seconds
going.
to go in this ship ascent burn.
Ship's still going. Love to see it. RVAC shut down.
All right, RVACs have shut off. 3 more to go.
With Starship especially, I hate seeing venting. Venting is like...
Ship engine cutoff.
There you go. That's another ship.
All right, all ship Raptors have shut
Nominal
down.
orbit insertion.
You just heard nominal orbital insertion, so we are on the path that we wanted to be. So we've got a ship back in space, a whole lot
Ship
planned
FTS
for
is
it, lots more still to come. Great seeing Super Heavy make
Let's
its way
hate
to
the
the water,
pattern of venting,
but I'm
especially for
excited to see what
Starship.
ship can do in space.
Because it looks
How's
like
everybody
something
doing down there?
popped. That's a weird tile pattern. Saw that when they were rolling it out. Bit weird.
Yeah, if you could hear the crowd behind us this whole time, people are definitely happy with how the day's been panning out so far. Definitely exciting to see Starship safely in space, and super pumped to see all the team's hard work in action here today.
Yeah, and we guaranteed it at the start of the show, but it has been an awesome day so far. It's crazy. All this has happened in just 10 minutes. All the objectives were met on the booster, including that
Don't do this,
V3 style landing
please.
burn. So now all
Oh,
eyes are
come
on the
on.
ship as we get ready
That's
for
a lot
our
of
in-space
venting.
objectives. But we've got a few minutes until that next milestone, so
That is
sit
a
tight,
lot of
enjoy the
venting.
views, enjoy the space jams. We'll be back at T plus 16 minutes for payload deploy.
That is a lot of venting. I don't like venting. I want to look at other streams so I can get some other views. Let's go here. Where is Dan? Why does Dan have gloves on? Dan, why do you got gloves? That was a very sudden color change. Okay, sure.
41 seconds Central Time.
Yeah, why does Dan have
also
gloves?
kind of reclocked their position on the booster that aligns them with the catch arms. Tyler, real quick, and Hawthorne, who's got a really cool look at what's happening with
Let's see.
tiles and floor.
Oh, he's handling a tile, that's why.
But
That makes
it's set
sense.
up to produce enough tiles for
Dive in, there's a lot of exciting stuff that's going to be.
Let's see.
We can.
There we go.
The countdown was really delayed.
Yeah, baby, let's go.
That really like tilted.
Yes. No, lost connected. Why is the shaking so much? And here comes the house now.
You can see his own camera shaking. Ooh. That's sick.
That are currently Holtz Raptor. You'll see them center engines that Raptors.
But that looks like Miko on our. There we go. Stage
Look
set.
at that.
See the engines throttling down.
Booster ready to
Especially
go.
the camera that's on the booster when it flips, you can see
Okay, let's see
the
if I can track
outward
the booster,
gimbling of
Ship ignition.
which I believe is actually the top.
you can really
thing
see the
here.
outward gimbling of the ship engines because they actuate out right before they separate. And it's so
flyover, but it's going to be dark. So, yeah, we've got
Alright,
a
let's
bunch
go
of
back here.
tests on this flight.
right here.
It looks cursed. If it works better, then just about ready.
Here.
We are going for it.
Here we
Let's
go.
go.
Under 30 seconds. Everyone's deluge should be flowing up out of the plate. Here it comes. Here's ignition.
Look at that. The last of the smoke plume we're gonna see, because they have a proper flame trench now. Look, you can see the shockwaves over here. That's so cool.
And as we pass through 60 seconds into flight, arriving, and we are booster forced of Super Heavy and Diamonds from continual.
That's so cool.
Hot state booster. Hot.
The sound is just everything.
Shutdown of Super Heavy, an ignition of Starship, another clean separation, up flips the booster,
Wow.
here comes the boost back burn. Thank you, Booster
Oh.
15. That's now coming back to the
I
guy.
want to see, actually, oh yeah, I want to see
Up.
15
That's-
explosion. Because they purposely, like the last flight, they exploded. They wanted to make sure it blew up. So they had a good landing burn all the way up and they hovered above the water. And then once they
all
hover,
of the liquid oxygen remaining on the main tank,
they
don't need
shut
that, right?
down
So they're
and
dumping
then
that
just
from the
drop
freaking
the
hub.
booster, just free fall back into the water. I don't know from what height,
Down.
but
And we seem to have going to see that hover over
they
the
make
goal,
sure it blows up.
and then a shutdown
Like, look at that.
of those Raptor engines. There's the hover.
It's
and
with
here
3
comes
inches
shutdown.
there.
That's
Wow.
from a lot higher than last
That's an
time.
incredible shot. Here comes an explosion.
And then boom.
Boom.
As advertised. and there is your rad, because that was planned, everybody. That is not
Exactly.
an unexpected outcome. So
Yeah.
successful.
Booster 15, thank you very much. A beautiful clean ascent, a beautiful
that.
expected explosion on ship 38. This
Still
is
on
looking
That
good.
was-
Fingers crossed.
Oh, that's great. So we still have about 2.5 minutes until the payload deploy sequence begins.
Perseverance or something like it did.
I actually do want to look back at this, see if they got any views of booster explosion.
Team engines, then
Oh,
bring
oh,
that down
here we
to
go.
5 to slow down the booster for landing. And finally, that will come down to 3, and we'll cut all of them off while we're still about 200 meters in the air. So booster is going to see a bit of a harder
Booster landing will start it.
Even with a totally different booster sequence.
And then, oh,
We got
That's
the
so
track
cool.
there. Ryan did.
okay.
So that was really
Dance
exciting
back.
to see. We got ship on orbit, nominal orbital insertion. So
Will
we're
they be
gonna
able to get them
move
out straight this time?
trajectory. Now
Last
we're ready
time,
to start
some of them went
tackling
out a bit crooked
couple
and
of in-space
bonked the door on the way
objectives.
out.
So
Is he going to make
next
another?
up, we are currently
Star
venting
Wars
down
joke?
the nose cone, essentially the payload area of Starship, as we get ready to open up this payload door. We were able to do this successfully for
Is he
the
gonna make another
very
Hal joke?
first time on our last flight, on Flight 10.
Oh, the door's already open.
Oop.
What?
Hal got ahead of me. Looks like he's opening
Oh,
up the payload
there it
door
is.
already.
No one's there to quietly laugh at Dan's joke. Show us from the inside. Please tell me they have a camera.
All right,
This
looks
one
like we got the door open.
looks like it has a bit more equipment on it than the last time. That's a very, very good sign. This and this looks like that's new. And I was looking back, they took a couple hours to install some
All
of
right, so payload door is
satellites,
open. Next up, going to
which
be to
means
start
they could have been
deploying
putting
these
something on it.
Starlink simulators.
Maybe a camera to look back at the ship. Who knows? We can hope.
They are roughly the same size
They
as
better have a
the
camera on it this
V3
time,
Starlink
so
satellites
we can get
that
a view of
Starship's
it
gonna be
coming out of the
carrying.
ship.
That's going to add some pretty crazy capacity. We'll run through the numbers in a little bit. We were able to do this for the very first time ever on our last flight, and so this will be another test. We made a couple
Please,
of tweaks to
SpaceX,
the
put
to
a
the
camera
rails,
on it, or at least
for
tell us you
deploying
have
this
a
based
camera
off of
on
what
it.
we saw last time. But excited to see these get out the door. Our next iteration of Starship
Nice if
is
it was
also going to
brighter
have
out, but
a more powerful PEZ. It's going to deploy these at a little bit faster speed, but looking to see our next demonstration of this hopefully in the next couple of seconds. We should start seeing them move out the door.
yeah, go up, back down, and then start shooting them out.
I mean, that view on your left, so you're basically, that would be if you were sitting at the very top of the nose cone looking down. So there's kind of a short stack. There's 4 on either side, so 8 total. When we start flying Starlinks, for their actual deploy missions, we're going to be carrying stacks of about 60. So much larger stack once we start flying these operationally, but still doing a little bit of a short just for this payload deployed today.
There we go.
Looks like we got a little bit of movement there, Dan.
Coax it out. Get it moving, Jake.
There we go.
There we go. All right, first one going out.
Why do they cut the camera? Yeah, these ones look like they have wires
All right,
on them.
First one's deployed. Getting ready for the second one here. We do a little reset back to the center position.
Yeah, it takes about a minute for each one.
Everyone thought when they saw it the first time, ooh, that's nice and straight. I thought the first time because it goes out,
Looks
shoots one, goes
real
back
smooth,
again.
Too. They made a couple
People are
of
like,
tweaks
oh,
to
fuck
those
yeah.
rails. If you watched the last ones, it had a couple of bumps on the way out, but moving out super clean this time.
Yeah, and as noted earlier in the show, but definitely worth repeating, Starship will deploy Starlink's more advanced V3 satellites, adding 60 terabits per second of capacity to the network per launch. So that's 20 times more than each Falcon 9 launch does today. Just incredible.
Yeah, them top two look like they have some more electronics than usual.
Yeah, and anybody that's been following Starship, you know Starlink's kind of the MVP for these flight tests, where it's not only giving us the views we're seeing right now, but also just real-time data through every phase of flight. So we've got a couple dozen cameras on Starship. We've also got a bunch of cameras spread across the globe, including out in the Indian Ocean, where we've got our fun buoys floating. There goes another one.
Nice. Is there a reason they're hiding
we're using Starlink
the
to
nose
bring all of
top
this
camera?
together. It's our drone shots you see
outside
here
camera from
from
us.
our great team down here at Starbase, all connected. So Starlink not only giving us cool views off the planet, but also on the planet, help bring everybody along.
Show us the
for all
camera
these
from
Starship
outside.
flights. I think that's number
They're a lot
4.
smoother.
Somebody check my math.
Another 4 to go.
Yeah, we've got 4 Starlink terminals on the outside of Starship. He uses that to talk to the constellation. And through that, we actually get about 120 megabits of bandwidth for our downlink. That's our real-time HD video, all of our telemetry. So it's not just kind of giving us these cool views.
Seems like it's taking a bit longer
but it's
this
giving
time
all that engineering data in
per
real time,
stack.
including re-entry when normally a plasma layer builds up and blocks you out. Starlink powerful
Starlink doesn't
enough
care
of a
about the
frequency that we're able
plasma.
to kind of punch through that and still get that live view.
Be very useful for crew capsules as well. Instead of having to factor in like the plasma blackout, like you don't know what's going to happen to the crew during that time.
All right, next one out the door.
Oh, look at that.
There we go.
Kind of see it because they cut to it as it was gone.
All right, yeah, Starlink is the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed, low-latency broadband internet. This provides internet access to people around the world, many of who have never
Someone
had
I
connectivity
know actually
before.
just bought Starlink
Oh.
because of me. I have to put it up in like 2 weeks.
Right, today Starlink serves more than 150 countries, territories,
time
and
for
other
an
markets
ad,
with over
whatever
7
your name is,
million
can't
active
remember her name.
customers and counting. To meet the global growing demand for high-speed internet, SpaceX expanded its factory over in Bastrop, Texas, which is just outside of Austin, and also introduced Starlink Mini, as well as an upgraded version of the Starlink Standard Kit.
Yeah, and one thing to note about this satellite deploy is that they will be following the same suborbital trajectory of the ship. So these dummy sats will not be going in orbit. We do expect them to burn up on re-entry.
Show us the camera on the dumlinks. That's what we just call them, dumlinks, because they're
Couple
not
more to go. I
actual
promise one of these
stars.
days we'll deploy in daylight. But we're basically trading deploy in the dark so we get those re-entry views for the daytime.
I didn't see a camera on the back of it. That looks like a thermal sensor.
All right, I think we got one more to go.
And that's it. No cameras. Damn. Hoping they'd show us like a surprise, but
All right, now with
well.
payload deploy complete, Starship will now close its payload door and continue to coast around Earth to the Indian Ocean. We still have a ton of major events to come today, including Raptor Relight at about T plus 37 minutes. That will be followed by atmospheric reentry and splashdown.
She can't get a single word out.
So with that, we're going to go on another quick coast.
Yeah, if you can hear us.
And the door's closed. Just see a little bit of light peeking out there.
All right, with that payload door closed, we're gonna sit tight, enjoy the views, and enjoy the space jams. Again, we'll be back in just a few
look at
minutes
our
for Raptor
timings.
Relight, and then head back for reentry.
So that's done. That's done there. So now 37 minutes. 47 is when we have reentry. It's about 20 minutes. So, per usual, I'm gonna go on my little break, and I will be back in about 15 minutes. I will be back. I can't remember what seat I go to. I'll be back.
right, welcome back everyone. If you're just joining us, you did miss some exciting stuff because Starship successfully deployed its second ever payload, 8 Starlink simulator satellites. And now we're expecting the relight of a single sea-level Raptor engine in space coming up here just after T plus 37 minutes. So about a minute left to go.
Yep, just a little while. I think we're tracking to 37 in around 49 seconds or so. So we should be just about a minute and a half. We're, again, as Amanda just said, we're going to relight one of those center engines. This will be the third time that we've tried this. We did it successfully back on Flight 10, and then we did it for the very first time back on Flight 6. This is not a deorbit burn. This is demonstrating essentially all of the systems you would need to do a deorbit burn. So that's obviously your Raptor engine, and then also your header tanks, your smaller tanks in the nose cone, where we have liquid oxygen, liquid methane in a smaller, more easily pressurized container, which we can use for on-orbit burns. And we're also going to tap into those when we do our landing burn. So this will be a critical capability. Once we go to full orbital missions, you'll have to do a deorbit burn to break out of orbit, send it back down to Earth. But in this instance, we're already on our way back down towards Earth. So this is just going to demonstrate the capability of turning one of these engines on. We should be coming up in just about 20 seconds or so, looking for one of those Raptor engines to turn back on. They've been off since we completed that successful ascent burn almost 30 minutes ago. Here we go.
Oh, Raptor ignition. And shut down.
All right, there was that Raptor relight. Looks like engine 3 full duration. As Dan mentioned, that's a third attempt, and we just did it 3 times in a row. So congrats to the team, the ship team, Raptor team. And then there we heard nominal second orbital insertion. All right, so congrats everyone on the milestone. That was awesome to see. We're 3 for 3. We're gonna take another break, and we'll be back for re-entry at about T plus 45 minutes. We'll see you soon.
Starship is slewing for entry. Starship is approaching entry interface.
Ship is starting entry, good attitude.
All right, welcome back everyone. The ship is currently re-entering Earth's atmosphere. As a reminder, we don't plan to recover the spacecraft today, but rapid and reliable reusability is the ultimate goal.
Yeah, the light show has already begun. You can see plasma starting to build on the windward side of the rocket there. And, you know, reentry is a critical phase of flight, and we need information on how the ship systems perform. Reentry is also extremely demanding portion of flight because we need the ship to scrub off all of the energy we used to launch the rocket. So remember the 33 engines plus the 6 engines on ship that we used to get up into space, we now are using aerobraking essentially to scrub off all that energy. And of course, Starlink is a big part of this, giving us the views we have right now, and also letting us gather as much data as possible, which again is really the main reason why we do these flights. And the view we have right now is actually a really good example. As we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, we have some tiles on the leeward side of the flaps here, and we have some different mechanisms, some stud out, basically to see if these tiles will hang on. And you know, we can see already here, it looks like we kept most of them, but I think I see a couple there that are no longer there, so the thermal team is definitely going to be digging into that and taking that data to help us iterate on V3. So yeah, Starlink provides us with one more path to collect data and help us rapidly iterate Starship's design.
And if the ship does manage to make it all the way to re-entry, we'll collect valuable data on the spacecraft flying through the Earth's atmosphere at hypersonic speeds, or more than 5 times the speed of sound. Re-entry is typically a portion of flight where we don't have communications with spacecraft because it's re-entering at or around orbital velocity, which is roughly 8 kilometers per second or 5 miles per second. At those insanely high speeds, the spacecraft moving through the atmosphere creates a plasma field around the vehicle.
Yeah, and that blanket of plasma distorts communication frequencies, so it's not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication. All right, so big picture here, Starship is designed to land on Mars where there are no runways or other humans to help out. So that means we need to do a propulsive landing instead of a more traditional means like parachutes, which is what our Dragon spacecraft uses, or a runway like the Space Shuttle. Propulsive landing enables more rapid reusability.
Now, as the ship makes its way back to Earth, we should start hearing some callouts when we hear entry max heating and entry max Q. That means the ship has made it through the maximum heating and aerodynamic loads it will experience as it returns. So if it makes it through all of those, that's a pretty good sign that we're doing well.
Yeah, and we heard flaps have control of the vehicle now. Okay, there's a great shot there. You're starting to see the plasma build up. So we will hear a call out when the ship is transonic and then subsonic. Transonic refers to the period of flight where the velocities of airflows surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are concurrently below, at, and above the speed of sound, somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8 to 1.2. All right, a lot of numbers coming up here, but for reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most fly around Mach 0.74 to Mach 0.85, which is 480 to 575 miles per hour, or 770 to 930 kilometers per hour. Right now, we're going a little over 26,000 kilometers per hour. So
we're back with Flight 11 again.
It's like pretty crazy how fast we're going.
With re-entry this time.
All right, and after we hear the call out that Starship is transonic.
Now, is it just me, or does this look like it's more of a steeper angle than usual?
Speed that is much less than the speed of sound. So at that point, the ship's velocity will be starting to slow down, and we'll be looking a little bit more like some of our suborbital flights from, at this point, almost 5 years ago.
Yeah, so re-entry so far is looking pretty good. You can see that plasma field. Also, again, with those missing tile experiments, especially, we're putting the ship through a lot today, but things are looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, we're looking good. I do want to remind people that we are pushing ship to the limits. We've done a lot of these missing tile tests. We did it back on Flight 10. Every time we do it, we throw something new and the ship makes it through. This time, we're really pushing it. We've removed these tiles.
Ship might not get through this.
Some of the spots that see the highest level.
Bill Gerstenmaier or something
and we
said they weren't going to remove tiles anymore.
Backup protection underneath. So there's essentially just bare steel.
Oh, great! Even better.
It's one of the heat of re-entry.
That was a bright flash.
And so, do not be surprised if this is not a very smooth flight on the way down. But again, this is intentional. We are trying to find what are the limits for ship. How resilient are we to these different issues that could pop up? If we lose a tile anywhere in the vehicle, we want to know what that ultimate impact is going to be. So we've got a couple missing. We had a bunch pulled over the primary fuel, the LOX tanks, everything. This one, we've got a tile missing right on top. So that's going to see some of the highest temperatures.
You don't know what you said.
And there's just bare steel right underneath it. So we're going to see if Starship's robust enough to pull through that. Also have some tiles missing around the aft flaps, specifically on the leading edge. So again, we're getting a really good look right at the leading edge. That's getting really intense heating. So again, gonna see if it can make it through.
We're gonna see a ship die
today. Starship holds together.
I have a feeling.
Definitely could be a bumpy ride, but
bumpy ride or last ride.
This is why we're flying in this part of the world. This is why we're putting Starship through these flight tests to really understand what its limits are. So we can then move on to the next thing, which is going to be bringing ships back to the launch site for a catch. But for now, still on this suborbital, the light show continuing. Keep following in. I think we got about 15 minutes until splashdown.
Yeah, Dan, it looks, you can see our speed our speed indicator in the bottom left there. It looks like we're starting to scrub off velocity a little bit quicker.
Ship is entering the peak heating phase of flight.
Let's go. Still going. Another 15 minutes left of re-entry. Starting to really slow down now.
Looks like we can see some clouds down there as we pass through 70 kilometers altitude.
Yeah, the sun's starting to come up again. Ooh, there we go.
Ooh.
There we go.
Look at that. Oh, oh no. What were they chanting?
Skirt is intact so far this time. If you watch Flight 10, you saw we entered with a little bit missing. That was ultimately traced to a little bit of buildup. We dumped prop on the way. We had a little bit of solid propellant buildup, and then
Everyone knew it was
either
that.
static discharge or the plasma ignited it, took out a tiny bit of that skirt, some of the aft flaps, but Starship
Just
again
a little bit.
was able to fight through it, make it all the way to that landing burn. We addressed that, changed some of our prop dump con-ups though, so should not be seeing that this time around. And as a reminder, we're, in addition to these missing tile tests, we're doing kind of a unique flight on the way in. It's going to do what we call a banking maneuver. So while we're still going supersonic and even hypersonic, we're doing kind of a banking turn. And then we'll do a pretty aggressive turn right as we get into the subsonic and start doing our belly flop. And that's designed to essentially be the approach that we would do on a return to launch site and a tower catch. So
it's still
don't be
surviving
surprised
though.
if we see the ship start to turn and make a few maneuvers as it makes its way down to the end.
Are they going to do the
Fun fact,
sudden
even though we're doing all this turning, we're essentially targeting the exact
vertical movements
same
again?
spot in the Indian Ocean we went to last time.
Imagine just another piece of the old ship pops up on top of it. It's cool how you know they're on target though when they had the buoy cams, like exactly looking at the ship as it lands. Oh, look at that! You can really see heating up down here.
All right, just about 12 minutes to go. Still looking good.
What is all the lines down here?
That
What's
gives a
all
pretty
those?
good view of those aft flaps where, again, on the leading edge, I think it might be on the one on the other side, we had some
see it's
tiles
really heating up.
removed
You can
with
see the change
no
of colors.
backups behind it. So again, we're really trying to stress some of the most sensitive areas around starships, where basically if you lose a tile, it's the worst possible spot. And if we're able to make it through this, then that tells us quite a bit about just how resilient this vehicle is.
Oh, that catch point is getting toasty.
Yeah, and that shot we just had
Down
earlier
here.
was looking at what we call the business end of Starship with all the Raptor engines. And those are the engines that we're going to be expecting to light for that flip and landing. turn,
I'm surprised
hopefully in
them
about
vinyl
10
decals are
minutes
staying
once
on.
we get through reentry. Yeah, there we go.
I'm surprised that they stay on
Yeah,
every
looking
time.
at E3, that's the one. It's the one we did the relight on. So it's 2 for 2 so far. We'll see if it can go 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't like when you see random pops of sparks. Oh, this time we know why. But no burns around the flaps so far, which is really, really good.
All right, we can see that speed just continue to bleed off under 20
But last time,
kilometers
like
an
they come in
hour.
like this, last time they went like that and they kind of pushed up. I don't know if they're going to do it again. It'd be pretty cool if they
still
do.
holding together.
Yeah, and if you look in the bottom right, looks like we've made it all the way to the Indian Ocean. We're coming up kind of near Australia, the west side of Australia there. So pretty crazy. We're only 56 minutes in, and we've made it all the way, halfway around the world.
think this is the best re-entry so far we've seen. Like flap-wise.
It's actually a good demonstration of a future capability we hope to have on Starship, where we will do point-to-point transport on Earth. So essentially travel anywhere in the world in about an hour or so.
Good to know there's still
going to be pretty
plan
crazy.
for that.
Imagine going from New York to Sydney in 1 hour instead of the
It's like,
20
well, I
hours
have an
it takes
emergency.
currently.
Let me catch a rocket across the world. So you got an emergency meeting. Let's get in a rocket across the world. Instead of like 9 hours, it's like 25 minutes. Oh, yeah, there's the turns they were talking about. You see the shadow.
And a
Look at that.
reminder, so this camera is... Oh,
Oh,
see
oh,
some
oh,
of the heat rate picking up a little bit. And this camera is embedded right
I
in the
suppose
end
they're
of one
kind
of
of
those
like
forward
going
flaps, so
sideways.
you see it moving around. That's the flap. Adjusting to maintain control. It's like we're getting into our bank maneuver.
I'm still surprised we've never lost a flap. We've gotten close to it on the
Now
first
power
re-entry.
sliding through the atmosphere.
External temperatures are coming down.
Oh yeah. That's so cool. Oh, have a little bit of heating there.
Vehicle is now at maximum dynamic pressure.
Just a little chunk of heat has come off there. Oh, more there.
All right, that was basically our reverse max.
That's
2,
so cool. It's like white on this
most
side and orange on
aerodynamic
that
stress
side.
that it's going to see during re-entry. We just passed through it, so we're past that. We're past peak heating. Ship still holding together. So we're currently in this bank maneuver. We're going to see it kind of roll over and do a pretty significant shift.
Only 1.9 Gs.
As
That's
we
not
get
bad.
down closer to the subsonic speeds.
Yeah, and that
Go
bank
back to
maneuver
my
that Dan's mentioning is all in part of us to learn about the guidance, navigation, and control for return to launch site missions. So in the near future, we're hoping to return the ship back to the same pad we just took off on 59 minutes ago, and we've got to do some of these pretty dynamic bankings to make that trajectory work out.
Like, I wonder is that on the go banking? Like, it's like, oh, I need to be here.
The light show kind
and
of
the
calming
trajectory
down.
of the flight
as
didn't
we're
go as planned, so it like
starting
banks
to move into the lower parts of
get
the
to it.
atmosphere. We should
I see some
hit transonic, so
plasma
hitting
in
that
the hinge area. down there.
transition between moving faster than the speed of sound and below the speed of sound in just about 3.5 minutes. Our landing burn should happen right around an hour and 6 minutes after launch, so we should be just about 6 minutes away from that. You can
I have
see
the
lots of daylight. We'll
times here looking.
everybody
up through
cross
them.
your fingers, see if our range
See
team was able to get out there
there.
and provide any surprise views as Starship
Oh, we
makes its
know
way
they
down.
did.
Oh, it's like they heard me.
Look at that.
Ready and
Everyone's
waiting,
cheering at
let's
a
go.
camera looking at the ocean.
Dan, you just spoke that view into existence there. And again, all brought to us by
RTS banking
Starlink.
maneuver has started.
What did they say?
All right, there we go. So we're now starting into our really heavy bank maneuver. Again, this does almost like a half circle loop.
The out of heating
to our
though.
actual trajectory. We're heading to the same exact splashdown point, but we're kind of doing a more roundabout way to get there, where it's this kind of big, long half-moon loop and then a really aggressive and a twist right at the very end. And that would line us up with the launch tower.
It's weird, that camera's
Starship
moving.
on a return to launch site.
Is that like
would
a microphone
fly
we
over
hear
the tower, do
on it?
a quick landing burn flip, and then come down for catching the arms.
How about that S38 decal there staying strong on that view we just had?
Yeah, I'm surprised about that.
Good to see the numbers back on.
Yeah.
Last time I think there was They were about to put them on,
All right,
and then
should be
there's two
hitting
strong winds, and they
transonic
had
in about
to
2.5
go back down,
minutes.
and they weren't able to put the decals on the Ship 37.
Landing flip coming up in about 4. Pretty clouds there in the Indian Ocean today. Again, yeah, we changed our launch times. We launch in the evening now, so we get these daytime views down
the first
in the
couple
Indian
flights
Ocean.
launched
One of the
at
things
night.
we're really looking
You
for,
weren't
the
able
reason
to
we
see the
have the drone,
landings.
other than, yeah, that looks really cool, is we're able to kind of see the ship. We can only see so much from these cameras. You can't see like the vast majority of the heat shield.
Look at
So
that.
we throw these buoys out there. We've got there's
You spoke it again, Dan. There it is.
They're
It's
playing
rough
with me in the
waters.
control room. All right. But we have these buoys out there. We have these drones that we're trying to see.
Like the ships, it comes in like
externally
this,
how
and
the
now
heat
it's
shield
going like
held up.
that and pushing into
Everybody
it.
saw from flight 10, it had a little bit of a paint job, a little bit of a reddish hue. That was from those metallic
oxidization of
tiles
the
that we
metal
had
tiles.
tested. Kind of oxidizing
this.
really rapidly in that plasma and then spreading those little oxide particles all over the heat shield. No metal tiles on this flight, so not expecting to see that.
Dynamic pressure is coming down.
Look at that. Jesus. It's
Hope nobody gets
pushing.
seasick. All right, coming up on transonic shortly. It's about 2.5 minutes of landing burn.
Yeah, there's microphones in the buoys.
Yeah, and once we get to around the 15-kilometer altitude mark, that's where we have a lot of flight history.
Starship
from
is
those suborbital
transonic,
flights.
starting the belly flop phase of flight.
Here we go.
That belly flop phase that we perfected in the suborbital campaigns, we're entering that now.
That's so cool.
Right, starting to get those Raptors ready. Should be 2 minutes away from landing burn. Again, we're going to do a flip. After we ignite those engines, we'll go from 3 down to 2 for the final phase of the landing burn and look for another soft splashdown, hopefully by our buoy and drone, which are hanging out, ready and waiting for a ship.
I'd love to be the teams that goes out to get the buoys back. Because, like, it would be hard to not try and bring the ship back with you if you're a recovery team. You can see the adjustments the flaps have to make. It's so cool.
Seeing all 3 center engines have entered the chill phase.
It's rotating a lot. Oh.
All right, less than a minute to go.
It's moving around a lot more than it did the last couple of flights.
The ship is making its turn for final approach.
Oh, making his turn.
And here's this kind of aggressive final turn that would essentially position it so it's right behind the launch and catch tower.
Look at that.
Flaps holding strong. Landing burn in just under 20 seconds.
I can hear in Dan's voice the, like, happiness.
Ship landing startup.
Oh. Go. Look at that.
There's our landing burn. Three down
at
to
it.
2.
Starship has landed.
There you go. Oh, no. My lights. That's so cool. Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
As we said, we're not planning on recovering the ship today. Hey, welcome back to Earth, Starship.
Oh my god.
We are down in the Indian Ocean. Let him hear it, Starbase. What a day.
Oh, come on.
What a flight.
Oh.
That's so cool.
All right. Welcome back to Earthship. What a day. A whole lot more to go through. As you just saw, everybody here at Starbase pretty hyped. Hey, Tyler, out on
You can see the
Hawthorne,
amount of
everybody
blank
holding up.
spots from all the cameras that are gone.
Thank you, Dan. We had a fantastic time watching. It was another exciting Starship flight test in the books, and we hope that you enjoyed those Starlink views too. So congratulations to the team at Starbase and everyone here and around the company. So many employees contribute to the Starship program as we continue to iterate and make progress towards a multi-planetary future. So that wraps it up for us here in Hawthorne. Thank you for tuning in, and back to you guys.
Yeah, what an incredible launch today.
Hmm.
We had
They can never get a
successful
word out.
Booster completed its objective, successfully splashed down over in the Gulf. Obviously, we saw another amazing Starlink deploy as well from ship.
Yeah, we made it through that re-entry, testing all the different experience. We had missing tiles, gave us quite the light show. We had that Raptor relight 3 for 3. That was ahead of re-entry, of course. And then that awesome splashdown that we just saw, including that dynamic banking maneuver to simulate RTLS when we returned to the launch site. So yeah, we promised maximum excitement, and Starship delivered.
Definitely.
Congrats
As
to all our
usually
teammates
does.
at SpaceX and to everyone who's supporting the Starship program. And thank you to all our future customers for your support.
Oh my god.
We'd also like to thank the fine people of Cameron County, including the residents of its newest city, Starbase, as well as the Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation Administration, the government of Mexico, and the Australian
What are they
Space
doing back
Agency.
there?
Yeah, be sure to follow SpaceX on X for updates and about more of the exciting views we didn't get to feature on today's broadcast.
And if you're interested in more launch coverage just like this, head over to spacex.com/launches for the most up-to-date information.
All right, I will take us out. Hey, congrats, Jake and Amanda. You guys did amazing.
This guy.
Great job. All right, today we launched the world's biggest rocket, knocked out all of our objectives. Shout outs to every single person.
And that's
who
it
made
for
this
Pad
look
1.
easy. Thank you to everybody tuning in. We're going to see you back here for the very first flight of our next generation Starship. So we'll see you then. Good night.
Hell yeah. What was that done? He's waiting for them to cut away. That's always fun whenever they like delayed cut away. Dan's just like just we all love Dan. Dan's great. Yeah. Well, that's it for block 2. And that is also it for pad 1. I think they're gonna start ripping it down now. I'm actually want to go to the live stream because people were convinced that they'd start ripping it down instantly, but I don't think they'll do it straight away. But let's see. This is Starbase Live. They haven't gotten back to the launch pad yet. So, pad 1 is still alive for now. Just a little longer. Right here. But I think in the next day or two we'll be seeing that go away. Because the tower's gonna stay. The mount is gonna go. Because the mount obviously has to change to update to block 2, 3, whatever it is now. But yeah. That was another flight. That's crazy. That's 2 for 2. Like 2 V2 ships that had a really bad streak of bad luck where they just failure. Now they're blasting through everything, getting all their goals, doing everything they need to, and they're still going, and probably gonna keep going, especially with the new version and figuring out what they can and can't do and the limits of the limits of the new versions. So yeah, that's going to be it for me. Let's see if I can Stream Manager. Read. All right. Well, we're going to be rating Officer Messer because why not? I'm going to be watching him as soon as I end the stream. So thank you to everyone that dropped by for yet another Starship launch. The VOD of all this will be posted. I will need to watch through the VOD, SpaceX's VOD, because I missed the entire start of it because I fell asleep. I fell asleep at like 10 minutes before, or like 20 minutes before the stream. I was like, okay, gotta wake up. And then I slept until T-minus 8 minutes. I'm like, no. Luckily I had everything set up already hours before, just be ready. So I just hopped out, started it, and went. But yeah, thank you to everyone that dropped by. I'm sure it won't be too long until Block 2, Block 3, V3, V2, whatever it is. I'm sure Dan will tell us. But they still do finish up some of the paneling on the second tower, or the second launch mount, and get the ship QD. But I'm sure they're gonna do like a booster static fire or something before they put the ship QD on. But anyway, thank you for the drop by. I will see you whenever the next flight is, or if I want to stream. And goodbye.